All right, so if we were to go through another problem, kind of start from scratch using StatCrunch. The normal model N 500, 100 gives a good approximation of the distribution of the quantitative SAT scores for college-bound female high school seniors in 2012. What percentage of the college-bound students had scores below 400? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to sketch our curve and label it. Right, so our mean is 500, so that's going to go in the center here. Our standard deviation is 100, so it makes it nice and easy. We have 5, 6, 7, and 8 going up, and then we subtract, we get 400, 300, and 200 going down. Right, sketch the curve. We are looking for the percentage of students that had scores below 400. So we would draw a line in at 400 and shade to the left. And then we're going to go to StatCrunch. Again, we're going to select Stat, we're going to select Calculators, make sure we select our normal calculator. Right? We're going to leave it on Standard, and then we're going to enter some information. Right? So what we are going to enter, we are going to enter our mean is 500. Our standard deviation is 100. Right? P, X, less than or equal to 400. Right? P stands for probability. Right? We want to make sure we have the less than or equal to because we're doing an area to the left and we're looking for a value of 400. And then we select compute in StatCrunch, and it is going to give us 0.15865525. So what percentage of female college-bound students had scores below 400? We will say about 16% of female college-bound students had scores below 400. So nice quick example using StatCrunch. Right, we're going to go through a couple more same scenario using StatCrunch. All right. So again, we're still looking at our normal model here. Our mean is still 500 and our standard deviation is still 100. So 500, 600, 700, 800, 400, 300, 200. All right, in this particular case, we are asked what percentage female college-bound students had scores above 650. Right? So we are going to fill in our shading appropriately. Right, 650 would be right in the middle here. Above means we're going to shade our area to the right. We have a pretty small area shaded in, so we should expect that we are going to end up with a pretty small percentage here. Again, we're going to enter our values. So our mean is 500. Our standard deviation is 100. We're looking for the probability that X is greater than or equal to 650. Okay. We get 0.066072 after we select compute in StatCrunch. Right. So we will say about 7% of college-bound females had scores above 650. Right. And then one last one in StatCrunch. Again, you guys aren't seeing me plug the stuff into StatCrunch, but there will be detailed descriptions posted online, and we will go through some in class as well. Right, so same scenario, I went ahead and filled in my mean and my standard deviation. This time we are asked what percentage of female college-bound students had scores between 450 and 600. So we're going to go between 450 and 600 and shade the area in right here. Now, one thing to mention when we're in StatCrunch, at the top of your little normal calculator, you're going to see two options. Your options are going to say standard or between. Right? You're going to use the standard if you're doing a less than or greater than. You want to make sure you select the between if it's a between problem, as in this one is, because that's going to give you the opportunity to put in a couple of different values that it is between. All right, so our mean is still 500. Our standard deviation is still 100. Right, now we're looking for the probability that 450 is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 600. After we compute, we get 0.53280721. So we will say about 53% of college-bound females had scores between 450 and 600. So again, as you're going through and you're working through problems, feel free to use our table. All of these in this example could have been done using our table, and or feel free to use StatCrunch as you're working through these problems.